we are. I want to add now and elaborate on this instance variable thing that we did and the hit points. Just because I think this is neat, and I think a lot of you are doing kind of the interaction collision with an object. So that's something I want to show. Okay, there's much you can do with it, but foundationally, I just want to see that. Well, it's up to you if you want to do this or not. But here we go. In the level of events, we have this option already of the horn. I know it's called a horn, but it's a rock. So when the rock collides with the snake here, we want the horn to destroy, which is fine. It's absolutely, we just basically saying, in a game sense, the rock is going to hit the snake and also disappear. But doesn't actually happen, I don't know. But what I want to do is, I want to go in here and I want to say, I want to grab that snake, and you have to start with the object that has the instance variable, right? So I'm going to grab the snake, and because it has an instance variable on it, I do have this option here of instant variable, and I want to say subtract from. And I want to subtract from the hit points, right? Because we know that's something that needs to go, if you look over here, it needs to go from 3 to 0 for this to work. So it says instant variable hit points. I want to subtract the value of 1. So there you see that. It says when the rock hits the snake, not only is the rock going to get destroyed, but it's going to then take 1 away from hit points. And it'll do that no matter what. Even if it's 0, it'll then go to -1 more than likely, okay? But we don't want that to happen. We want the snake to actually destroy, right? And I don't have anything here with that because I'm referencing the instance variable. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to say snake. And what do I want to do? I want to compare instance variables again, right? And that's just saying, what do you want it to do? So when that instant variable of hit points is equal to 0, okay, see that? So when the snake hit points is equal to 0, let me hide this so we can see it. So when the snake hit points is equal to 0, now is when I can go ahead and say add action, and I want the snake to destroy. And remember, we're saying destroy because I want that totally off the stage, right? So there we go. Now, here's something interesting that we can do. We can see here that I have every 8 seconds the health meter is being checked, and so is score underscore text, right? So why can't I also add the, let me do this first. Let me come over here, and I'm going to just, should I copy this or not? No, I won't. I am going to add a sprite, right? Score.text was something that I did. So let me add, not a sprite, but some text, just like I did with the health thing before. I'm going to add a text. I'll put it up here, and I'll change the layer in a second. So I'm going to put this here, and text is okay. Remember, I don't have to do anything there, but I do want to make it bigger. How big did I make that text? I made that Arial 24. So I'm going to make this Arial, okay, and then jump it up to 24. 2, 4, tab. Okay. Add some room here. Make sure it's aligned. I know you don't have to do any of this stuff. I'm just being meticulous right now, and I shouldn't. And there we go. So we now know that this is going to be something I'm going to work with in the event sheet. So I'm going to come up here and call this hit underscore TXT. And we're good, right? And this is something we've done before, so we can go over to our level 1 event and see, right? So we know that every 8 seconds this is happening. So now we don't need to make a new one, right? We don't need a new event. We can just come here and say add action, and I want hit underscore text. And I want to, where's set text? Set text. Ah, here we go. I want to set the text to what? Now, remember, we've done this right here. So right now, the score is set text to score. And we know the stuff that's in the parentheses, you know what I mean, is what's not going to change. What's going to change is the variable, right? So, interestingly enough, notice that I have at score here. And it made no, it was okay. So I'm going to say at, meaning so add a variable. But I can't just do, what did I call it, hit points. See when I start typing how hit points doesn't come up? Reason being is that's an instance variable. So I asked to acknowledge the instance first, which is the snake. And then I can hit dot, and now I can start typing hit points. And there you go, it says hit points. See that? And I got all the colors that I want. I know that this is okay, the blue, the green, and then the maroon. Everything is good to go here, so I can hit done. No problems. So when I go back to level 1, this should, by default, once it comes up every 0.8 seconds, is going to replace, say, 3. And then it should, every time that I hit the snake, go down 1, right? Okay. Let's see. Play. There we go. So my score is 0. My hits are 3. I'm going to get a little closer. Threw a rock. Ooh, I got him. And it went down to 2. See that? Threw a rock right in the eye. Went down to 1. Let's get him in the back of the head here. Boom. Went to 0. And he's gone. Okay? Now, you could imagine the multitude of things that we could do now if you wanted, right? So it's not an option or anything like that. You don't have to do this. But now we have this thing of maybe since we're subtracting 1 from hit points and we know how to do the compare instance variable thing, right? We've been doing that so many times. We could say, you know, snake compare instance variable hit points. If it's equal to 2, maybe the snake turns green, right? Like it's getting sick of getting hit by a rock. I don't know. But just know now that you can do that added expense to that, okay? So there is that.